You're listening to the Mike Cara radio program, Eye on the Nation, proudly broadcasting from Woodridge, Illinois, USA, planet Earth.
Well, welcome back to our next edition of the Mike Cara radio program, Eye on the Nation. We definitely have our Eye on the Nation, as always, proudly broadcasting from Ocoee, Florida, USA, planet Earth. And my next guest is Mr. Ricky Powell. And Ricky is a veteran of the entertainment industry. He realized his first dream of being an actor when he was just 7 years old. And after a successful career in front of the camera, Ricky began his next journey at the NBC television network in Burbank, California, where he continues to work today. Now, while working through some difficult situations at work and at home in his 20s and 30s, Ricky became fascinated with the subject of happiness and how you can choose to be happy regardless of your outer circumstances. He began writing and lecturing on the subject and now teaches the principles that go into creating lifelong happiness so you can make more money, have deeper, stronger relationships, and live longer. Ricky had the vision of creating a community of like-minded, positive individuals supporting one another many years ago. With so many negative messages bombarding us each day, he felt it was his calling to counter the darkness with a burst of light and spiritual energy. And finally, Masterminds of Lifelong Happiness is a reality and can help people all over the world create lives filled with joy, love, and prosperity and abundance. And Ricky has written a book called Happiness Rocks, and it definitely does. And as we want to let everyone know, Ricky is a return guest, last time talking about his child acting career. And we also got to give a plug for that. You can check that out. But today what we want to do is talk about happiness, and it definitely does rock. And we kind of mentioned in your intro, Ricky, kind of how you came upon this subject. But is there anything else you'd like to add to that introduction? How you kind of got involved with this happiness subject?
Well, first of all, Mike, I have such a big smile on my face after listening to your intro. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, and as always, love being on your show, and just excited to be back here talking about, literally my favorite subject, which is happiness, and it's by far really the most important thing to each one of us is our own level of happiness and how we go through our life. And I think there are a lot of people who may not realize the power that they have in being able to make that choice for themselves, because 100% happiness is a choice that you can make, like we said, regardless of your outer circumstances. So, it boils down to about 50% of your happiness set point is inherited. So we get that through our genes. We inherit that from our parents. 10% is related to your life circumstances. So that means, do you have a roof over your head? Do you have enough food to eat? Do you have clothes on your back? Do you live in a free country? Things like that. And then 40% of it, the 40% that's left is our choice to make, and it's how we react to the things that happen. Right, because we all know that sad things and bad things do occur in life, and it's the way we handle those situations that allow us to sort of open up the door to happiness. And we feel the pain, we grieve, we do whatever we need to do, and then we're left with that choice of victim or victor. And it's that choice of being a victor and moving right through it that keeps us going.
Oh, okay. And happiness is, definitely something that, we're all looking for. And there's obviously a lot of different ways to achieve happiness. Of course, our last interview was all about music and playing music. And that's obviously one way. So, one thing I will say, Ricky, and I'm sure you agree, is happiness is one of the few emotions that once you've got it, it seems like it pretty much drowns everything out. Anger, rage. It seems like of all of the different emotions that happiness is very powerful, and the great thing about it is it's something we want to have.
Right, absolutely, and so. And, many of us, we end up playing the I'll be happy when game. And that's when you think to yourself, well, I will be happy. I'll be happy when I'm making more money or have a better job or meet the right person or live in a bigger house or drive a better car. All of those things, which can largely be just society or media driven, because we see all of these messages that tell us that we need certain things to be happy. And really, again, it's just we already have the tools necessary to create our own happiness, and really that major tool is right between our ears. It's our mind, and it's just the thoughts that we allow into our brain, and it's filtering out some of the negativity that's really bombarding us on a daily basis, and being very selective in the thoughts and that little voice that's, we all have that little voice inside of us. Many times that's our own worst critic, and it's really tempering that voice and starting to feed ourselves positive information and affirmations and things like that can really help turn it around and harness that feeling of happiness and hold on to it.
Oh, so yeah, that is the key that we all kind of have to deal with, Ricky, is holding on to that happiness. Getting and keeping it. Then. Mm-hmm.
Right, and of course that's not to say that you can be happy 24/7, 365, because like I said, life will absolutely throw us its curveballs and lemons, and then it's what we do with them that really counts. And so it's how you perceive certain situations that happen to you. For instance, back in 2007, I actually had been walking around for 2 weeks with a ruptured appendix. And I had gone to the ER one day when I got really sick, and they just chalked it up to food poisoning and sent me home. And I walked around for 2 weeks, and finally I went to the doctor twice. The first time even they sent me home, and I just had this dull pain, that I was experiencing, and just didn't feel right. And I went back and said, "Is there anything you can do? Can you give me an MRI or a CAT scan or something to see what's up?" And they finally did, and they said, "We need to admit you immediately. You've got a ruptured appendix." And so I just feel so fortunate to be alive. And at the time, I was supposed to go on a family vacation, and of course, I couldn't. I was in the hospital for 6 days, but my wife took the kids, and they went, because I said, I just have to have my surgery and recuperate, so you go, have a good time. And it was interesting, because while I certainly could have been angry or sorry that I missed the vacation, I was so grateful, Mike, to be alive. And I felt so lucky that I was able to live through something like that. And again, I wasn't, I didn't feel like a victim lying there in the hospital bed. I felt like I was the luckiest guy on the planet. So it's all the way you look at things,
Oh, so yeah, you were mentioning that that's a good example. It's how you look at that, and yeah, we're talking about the right state of mind, the happiest state of mind, especially like we were saying, keeping your mind occupied, and especially in my case with music. I know in a lot of particular cases, playing music is related to generating happiness, and sometimes it's happiness that saves people's lives. Like there's one guy I interviewed, Ricky, that literally, because of the happiness and joy he got from music, literally got him out of bed, made him want to do all these things. So I mean, happiness seems like it's one of the most powerful medicines in some ways.
Oh, it definitely is, and right along with that, it comes laughter. It's been proven scientifically that laughter really, truly is the best medicine, and so there are classes on that. They even have certain yoga classes that deal with laughter now, and both happiness and laughter are absolutely the best medicine, and that goes to one of the tools that I talk about in my book and when I'm lecturing or coaching people, is forgiveness, and how powerful being able to forgive can play, that role plays in your happiness level. Because when something happens and you get angry at someone or a situation or whatever, you blame them or whatever, and you harbor this anger, those are all feelings that you're suppressing inside of you, and that negative, angry energy that stays inside you really is only punishing yourself. You may think that you're punishing the other person by staying angry at them, but in reality you're really just punishing yourself, because when all of those negative feelings are trapped inside, that's a big part of what can lead to disease, illness, and things like that. Whereas if you can just let it go and forgive and allow those feelings to be released, then you're really the one who benefits from that. It doesn't mean you have to forget what happened, but if you can forgive, then those feelings can be released from you, and you're able to move on again and become that victor that we were talking about, and get that happiness back.
Right. And Ricky, yeah, you mentioned about, being a happiness coach and, working with different people. So, I mean, how does that necessarily work? I mean, do people come and find you? I mean, we're promoting what you do today, but I mean, how does somebody actually come to find you? I mean, do they necessarily go on the internet and look for a happiness coach, or?
Well, they may. I mean, so you can. And again, my core website is www.lifelonghappiness.com, and since I launched that site, actually, my brand has become the Happiness Guy, because people have Googled me and know about my message of happiness and everything, and that I talk and write about it. So at NBC, I had been here probably 20 years, and I'm walking down the hall one day and ran into someone who I had never met before, and he pointed to me and said, "Oh, you're the Happiness Guy." And I said, "How did you know that?" And he said, "Well, I found you online." So it's very interesting how that brand really has now followed me, and it just stuck. Now people start calling me that. I've got it on the front of my book, and like you mentioned, I wrote a book called Happiness Rocks, a powerful blueprint to master the art of lifelong happiness, and it's available on Amazon. You can just go to Amazon and type in Happiness Rocks, and I call it an art, an art of lifelong happiness, and that's because I think that there are certain skills that you can learn and that I do teach that go into creating a happy life, and then it's taking those skills and literally transforming them into an art form, so that, again, regardless of what life is throwing you, you can get through it and come out a winner on the other side. And that is what I coach people on, and I do speaking for corporations and individuals, groups alike, and one-on-one coaching. And in fact, we were talking about masterminds of lifelong happiness, and that's going to be a virtual mastermind group, both on the phone and online, where people will be able to dial in or go online and talk about setting and achieving their goals. Goals are so important, and so we're going to work together as a group. So it's not just me sort of lecturing, but it's all of us as a mastermind group coming together to help each other and hold each other accountable for creating, setting, and then implementing and achieving our goals and your goals, whatever they may be. And once you reach that first goal, then it's setting another goal. And so I'm very excited about this program, and I think it's going to formally launch in January, but I'm going to have a free webinar up talking about it, and there'll be lots more coming on that. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. So yeah, Ricky, it's great to hear that you've got a whole plan here, and talking about goals. So this is just more that, okay, be happy, or here's a funny video. I mean, you kind of do a lot of analyzation, and a lot of it's related to your life goals, because ultimately that is what's going to make you happy is your life path, and where you decide to take your life then.
That's right. Absolutely, and it's really finding the joy in the simple things, rather than thinking that it's any sort of material object that's going to bring you happiness. It really has to start from within. In fact, one of the lectures I do, it's called the Happiness Rocks System for Success. And that's because a lot of people think that they'll be happy when they're successful, and in reality, it's really the other way around. You've got to be happy first, and then success can follow. Because as we've seen many, many times, having more money doesn't certainly mean that you're going to be happy. If you're already happy, then more money can make you happier because it allows you to do more of the things you love to do. But if for whatever reason you're depressed or miserable or just not coming from a happy place and get a bunch of money dropped in your lap, then that's not going to make you happy. You'll just be depressed or miserable with a lot of money. So, and we've seen that time and time again.
Oh, okay. And now, Ricky, one another thing we hear about, on the internet and we hear on TV shows is something called a joyologist. And I'm wondering if a joyologist and a happiness coach are similar. Are they two different things, or?
Well, to me, it certainly sounds similar, and I think that there's definitely a growing awareness for this subject matter out there. And for me, it all started about 10 or 12 years ago. I came up with an idea for a whole cable network devoted to personal achievement, and tried to sort of pitch that as an idea and cut together a video of what the content could look like. And certainly one of the hardest things you could try to do is launch a cable network. But in that moment, I said, well, what can I do on my own where I don't have to depend on anyone else? And that's where I came up with the idea of the website. And there are, since that time, there have been more books written on the subject. There have been plenty more authors and even videos and programs all related to joy and happiness. And there's a whole shift in consciousness, I think, that's happening now, and more people are discovering not only how important it is, but how they're really able to access that feeling without having to go through a whole lot of specialized degrees or research. It's all very simple stuff. There's no secret, so to speak, to happiness. As the quote goes, there's no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. It's just there. It's accessible. People just need to learn how to access it and then hold on to it. And that's what I love helping people do.
Okay, Ricky, and we're talking about helping people, that you help individuals. You do like corporate seminars, lectures. I mean, pretty much. Is there anything that you do different, or any different plans of attack as far as when it comes to doing an individual or groups? Or I mean, it's pretty much the same message. I mean, it's probably a different experience when you're talking to someone one-on-one than when you're actually like in a lecture hall. Then.
Right, definitely. I mean, when I'm working one-on-one with someone, it really allows me to focus 100% on that individual, and we map out what it is exactly that they want their life to look like, what they want in their life, the short-term, mid-range, and long-term goals that they want to achieve, and I really help them lay out a path to achieve those goals. And then we follow up on the phone or in person, wherever they happen to be. And really, it's an accountability, and it's kind of like having an accountability buddy. And I really I'm able to get very close to and become friends with my clients because we're focused solely on helping them achieve whatever it is they want. If it's more success, or if it's financial or spiritual or relationship oriented, or whatever their challenges may be. I love that work. I love being able to work one-on-one with people and help them achieve whatever it is they're looking for.
Oh yeah, Ricky.
Whereas in the lecture setting, it's more of a generalized talk, and I talk a lot about my past and how I've gotten to this point and how that relates to them in the audience, and answer general questions, and but I use a PowerPoint. Usually have a PowerPoint slideshow, and it's all images. There's almost no words. I'm always speaking from the heart. So I love showing people sort of the images that I've had from my past and that I work with in the present, and it's very powerful.
Oh yeah, Ricky, and you had mentioned about the spiritual aspect of things. So I mean that can apply in certain cases. That
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've definitely become a much more spiritual person as I've gotten older. One story I briefly tell in the book and on stage is that I lost my best friend, Michael Lawrence, at 23. I might have even mentioned that in our last interview because he was such a huge part of my life, and I went through certain things that were just too. There was too much of a coincidence there. I just feel like that energy is with me still. His energy is with me still every single day. He was one of the most positive people I knew, one of the happiest people I knew, and unfortunately we lost him. We were both 23, and he had a kind of a congenital heart defect or whatever, and it was definitely the most devastating thing I had ever been through. But I gleaned every bit of positivity and positive energy I could, and again, between he and my mom, who was the other very positive force in my life, I just feel like their spirits are with me every day, and it's definitely helped knowing that, again, when this is all over, in whatever whatever place we're in right now, and our bodies are gone, I believe that our energy absolutely moves on and continues, and I think there's no doubt that we're all connected.
And one thing, Ricky, I'm sure is evident, but it's worth mentioning again is that if you truly want to be happy, you should surround yourself with happy people. Because if you're trying to do this, if you're trying to get true happiness and everybody's happy, I mean the environment around you can influence just about everything you do. So if there's happiness all around you, you can't go wrong then.
Yeah, that's so true, Mike. I'm really glad you mentioned that. It's very important to surround yourself with positive people. And again, it doesn't mean everyone needs to be tap dancing all around you all day long, but there are absolutely those negative people out there who are energy suckers and who like to live the drama, and they really want nothing to do with all of this happiness or positivity or whatever. They prefer playing the victim and playing the drama and eliciting, maybe they think people will feel sorry for them or they'll get sympathy or whatever it is. But it's very important to try as best you can to filter those people out. And you can't probably do that 100% because there are just certain people that you may be forced to work with or even live with for a time or whatever. But even if you are in those situations, it's just, again, letting your mind filter out that negativity and just not letting them bring you down. It's very important to rise above that.
Oh, so yeah, we're talking, surround yourself with positive, people, try to, surround yourself in positive environments, and, all those can be a factor, like we're saying, your environment could affect you in ways you might not even realize then.
Yes, that's true. That's very true.
Okay. So yeah, we want to encourage everyone, to check out this book as well. It's called Happiness Rocks, and people can get this book on your website. Is that right, Ricky? Or
yeah, they can either go directly to my website, or they can go to Amazon.com, and type in Happiness Rocks. Or on the website. And also I have another website called thehappinessguy.com, and I have a short little video intro at that site. And either on that site or at lifelonghappiness.com, you can put your name and email address in for something I call TGIT, your daily dose of inspiration. And what I'm doing with that is it's absolutely free to sign up. There's no cost or obligation for it. But what it is is I just every day shoot out a very quick email first thing in the morning. Usually, it comes overnight, so you get it first thing in the morning, and it's just a quick little tip or quote or image, just something to help you get into the right mindset for the day and gives you something positive to reflect on and think about. And my reasoning behind it was TGIT stands for Thank God It's Today, because how often do you hear people say TGIF, Thank God It's Friday, and they rush through the week trying to get to the weekend, and then they only enjoy maybe 3 days out of the 7 that we have. And when you do that, you're just automatically casting away so much opportunity to make every day great. Every day can be a great day, and you make that decision when you roll out of bed first thing in the morning. And so that's why I created this TGIT, Daily Dose of Inspiration, and I'd love to offer that, to any of the listeners. And also, once you're on that email list, it allows you to click on a link in the email at any time, and anyone can schedule a free 15-minute phone call with me. And again, that's just a free 15-minute consultation. I'm happy to do whatever I can in helping people set and achieve their goals. And it's 15 pure minutes of 100% focus on you, helping you set and achieve the goals that you'd like to work on. And, we get to know each other. And for the people who want to continue on and join the Masterminds of Lifelong Happiness when it launches, or if you just need a one-on-one call or whatever, I'm always available for people.
Oh, okay. And as we want to reiterate, Ricky, we've listed both the lifelong happiness and the happiness guy, and we just want to reiterate that those are 2 separate websites, as we just got done saying. So we encourage everyone to check those out. They're not the same. That your different websites they were mentioning, they both have goodies and special surprises. Then.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So we'll check all those out then. And now, is there any other pages? Like, do you have anything on Facebook or Twitter? Or
I do, absolutely. I'm on Twitter as at Choose Happiness. And then on Facebook, I have a personal page as Ricky Powell, and also I have a Masterminds of Lifelong Happiness page as well. And I absolutely welcome people to find me on Facebook as well, because I'm always on Facebook. Facebook has been life-changing for me. In fact, I thank Mark Zuckerberg in my book, because it was so instrumental in helping me grow and connect and network with people, and it's just been an amazing journey on Facebook. So yes, thank you for mentioning that.
Sure. So yeah, and we're talking about as far as your websites, and is there any other resources? Obviously we want to first encourage everyone to get your to pick up a copy of your book, check out your websites. But is there any other or other web resources or anything else you recommend? As far as getting more information, is there any other good articles or anything else on happiness that we should note?
Yes. Well, absolutely, and on the lifelonghappiness.com website, I have many articles and videos, and there's so many things there that are all free for people to discover and read through and view. So I highly recommend going to lifelonghappiness.com and checking out all of the articles and videos that are there, because they're all freely accessible. I also wrote an ebook called How to Overcome the 7 Toxic Beliefs about happiness that keep you from being happy. And I'm not sure if I have that listed on the site, but if anyone wants to shoot me an email, you can also get me at the email address ricky@lifelonghappiness.com, or you can contact me through the website. And anyone that would like that ebook, I'm happy to send them a copy of that also at no cost.
Oh, okay, fantastic, Ricky. Again, we appreciate your time, and it's definitely a great subject. And yeah, we want to encourage everyone to check Ricky's websites out, and also check out the one about child acting. And Ricky, any final thoughts or anything else we should know about happiness?
Well, Mike, I just want to thank you for having me, and it's always a pleasure talking to you, and I'm just glad to be here, and it's just such an important message. So I do everything on a daily basis, both inside and outside of work, to spread that message. And I would just say that if all of your listeners would just remember that it's a choice that you make on a daily basis, and you don't have to wait for anything. You have everything available right here, right now, and if anyone needs help with that, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, and could you give us your websites one final time, please?
My pleasure. It's www.lifelonghappiness.com and also www.thehappinessguy.com.
Oh.
And again, the title of the book is Happiness Rocks, and you can find that at lifelonghappiness.com or on Amazon or barnesandnoble.com, or you can also walk into your favorite bookstore and just let them know you'd like to order it.
Oh, fantastic. And as you mentioned that there's a email list that people can sign up for, like you said, a tip of the day, and they just need to sign up. And which website was that again?
Either one.
Okay, and they just need to put in their name and email, and they'll get that?
First name and email, and you'll get an email right away welcoming you.
Okay, thanks so much, Ricky. My guest has been Ricky Powell, and you've been listening to the Mike Care radio program, Eye on the Nation, and please catch us again next time.